Hello and welcome back to TNI UK Impacted episode 197. Coming to you live via the Total Non-Stop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify and iTunes and pretty much wherever you listen to your favourite shows. I'm your host Bison, and today I'm joined by the man simply coming to us from the void of his own brain, of course, the Joker. And coming to us from your local nightclub, LimpstarUK. Hey guys, how we doing?
We're good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. It's
wonderful.
It's wonderful to be a part of Impacted each and every week, and it's good to have Craig back with us again this week. He had a little break last week, but he's back this week with a vengeance. I'm going to quickly hit everybody so that we've got waited. You've got Rich is in the house. Eric Isaac. Courtney's here. Melonhead. Mir's obviously with us. Punk is already super stickered us. Thanks, Punk. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Punk.
All stickers welcome. Bonkers is with us. Who else have we got? We already said frickin' Punk. Somerset's with us. And of course, Miz. And no, I didn't forget to pay the light bill. I'm busy doing a lot of work we're not in the man cave. We're in the man loft at the minute. So I've been in a loft for a little while, but we're having a lot of work doing. I'm having it all done up. I was earlier doing a couple of ladder stints, so don't get too cocky, Mir. I'll be coming after you with the ladder. So we've got a few things going on, a lot of stuff going on. Unfortunately, the lights are all behind me at the moment, so you might be able to see. I don't know whether you can see. They're all like hanging from the ceiling at the moment. So as you can see, a lot of work is going in up here at the moment. So yes. So please bear with me. I apologise that the light isn't great, but hey, I'm not exactly the most attractive man in the world, so it's probably better. You're probably better off not seeing my mush anyway. Anyway, right. Somerset. I look like an anonymous victim giving testimony. Yeah, that's true.
We need to get one of them voice changer things.
That's it.
We got the DCC version 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're saying. No, that'd be cool. But anyway, so I do apologise for not great lighting. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do about that today. Hopefully, I'll have it better for next week. Right.
You are back from diving.
Okay, random. Is that banned from diving off my ladder in the back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. News, rumors, and TNA. Oh, we're not doing the Impact recap, but we will take a look at NXTNA. We'll take a look at Explosion. And of course, we are here to review Emergence. So we'll have a look at that in a second. But anyway, guys, Gisele Shaw has asked for a release. And it looks like it's also been granted. Real shame, because I thought the version that they were starting to portray of her now was really good. I was surprised. I mean, the fact that they gave her that big promo that she was coming back and then she had a load of losses was kind of weird.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is a shame, but it's got to be what's best for her. And to be honest, I think it's probably expected that she's going to be joining Scott more on a more permanent basis over at Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. And good luck to her. Good luck to her. I will certainly check out some of her stuff. I've been a fan of Gisele for quite some time, so I'm not going to stop being a fan of her just because she's not on TNA. So exactly the same with Deanna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie and all the ones that have disappeared over the. Even when Jordan goes off and eventually signs her WWE contract, I will still be a big fan of hers. So, it's not the end of the world, and I will miss seeing her on TNA. But hey, it is what it is. She's got to do the best for her. So good luck, Gisele Shaw. That's enough said on that. Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah.
Nope.
You have got thoughts.
I have to agree. It's really, it's a shame to see her go. I'm gutted because I would like to have had the chance to meet her next time TNA come around. But hey, Sarah, she was one of the knockouts that really did just get better and better every time you saw her week after week. You know, she's one of the people that you can see TNA really built her confidence up and really built her ability up. So good, whatever's next, good luck.
Give her that exposure though to bring her back, and then she leaves. I'm just kind of a bit like, all right, well, thanks. You know, that spot, that limelight and stuff like that could have gone to someone who was actually a bit more, you know, wanting to stick around.
I for me, I think at the end of the day, I think obviously she was probably coaxed, shall we say, to stay in the first place when obviously all the Scott. I mean, it's common knowledge Gisele is the girlfriend. Well, yeah, one of the low.
Yeah, that's the word you want.
Of Scott D'Amore. So you know, when Scott went, I think it was inevitable that eventually Gisele would probably follow. It is a shame because, like I say, but I think Anthem then did the right thing. They said to her, "Look, you know, we want you to stay. We want to give you a bit of a push." They gave her the whole, they give her a bit of a build and everything, but I think she just still decided not to stay. So. If that's the case, he still wanted to go. So, I mean, you know, what can you say? He's probably got a lot of there's probably a lot of pressure, to be honest, from at home. And it probably made life a bit difficult for her. So, you know, she decided to move on. And I don't blame her. If she thinks she can, you know, do better, or, you know, she's got a different idea of the way direction that she wants her career to go in, then fair enough. Good luck.
You know full well she's going to Scott's place and then she's going to be champion. So
yeah, of course she is. Yeah, she's going to end up becoming Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Women's Champ. Of course she is. That's exactly what she's going to do. But anyway, I did notice though, this in better news, Casey Navarro has been added to the TNA roster page and has also been added as part of First Class as well, alongside Rich Swann. So the photo that they put up of First Class has got AJ Francis in the middle with Rich on one side and Casey on the other. So
his two homies side by side.
Exactly. Homie 1, homie 2. But that is fantastic news because we've been saying that he's the sort of guy that we want to see.
Definitely.
We thought he was, you know, I thought he had a great show in its emergence, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But also, there is rumours afoot at the moment that Heather Reckless is either signed already or will be signing to the TNA Knockouts division very, very soon. Right. So, again, Heather Reckless, great talent. Fantastic performer. Excited. So that was, maybe this is the start of what Gail Kim's been talking about, of bringing in more knockouts, building the knockouts division again. So that's great news. There's also some good news and bad news. This is a bit sort of kind of sweet and sour, this one. Killer Kelly obviously announced that she's pregnant, and quite heavily pregnant. So maybe that's why she's not been around for a while.
She's about 4 or 5 months. 5 months.
Yeah. Congrats to both her and, of course, Myron Reed. That's, you know, and obviously as she's officially signed, that the time out of TNA means that at some point when she's ready to come back, and her contract would possibly be, what do they call it?
Extended.
Extended, yeah. So that's my thought process. It'd be great to have her back eventually, but congratulations to the pair of them. Fantastic news. It'd be nice to see I mean, can you imagine the child of Killer Kelly and Myron Reed? I mean, come on. What sort of future does that child have? He's going to be a hell of a superstar.
Definitely.
Skill set. My God.
Yeah, definitely. And Mir's just reminded us that Heather Reckless has been trained by Seth Rollins, which is really good.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is an incredible wrestler. Say what you like about him. He's bloody good.
Yeah, he is. He is fantastic. So it's really good. It's great. That would be a great wrestler. So talking about Heather Reckless there, Gabriel. Thank you for the comments. Don't forget, guys, anything we're talking about, leave us a comment. You know, hopefully we can sort of kind of mention that. And Eric, totally agree. Now, here's the question, though. Okay, and I'm going to add something else onto this as well. Is there a knockouts roster crisis at TNA right now? Now, we have learned recently that SDL is signed until January 2025. This came out recently. It was revealed on a podcast. She revealed it herself. She originally signed for a few dates, or booked some few dates, and she's now basically signed up to TNA for the rest of the year.
Good.
Into January, which I think is fantastic news. And she even stated that, of course, they will be nearer to the time. They'll relook at it, and who knows? Maybe they'll offer a contract. I think they should, because she's been fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
Great character, fantastic in the ring. She's done I think she's been great. So, and I know that Craig loves her. So that's all that matters.
Love's a strong word, but it's accurate.
Yeah. Totally. Okay. Now let's have a look at NXTNA. After defeating its former friend Wes Lee at NXT No Mercy, the new X-Division champion Zachary Wentz joined forces with fellow Rascal Trey Miguel in a triple threat #1 contenders match for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Their opponents Gallus and Hank and Tank Ledger. The match broke down during the closing moments, which saw involvement of several NXT stars, but the Rascals would capitalize on the chaos, soaring with an aerial offense to secure victory. The stage has now been set. So next week on WWE NXT, Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel will challenge Nathan Fraser and Axiom for the NXT Tag Team titles. Could we see?
Wow.
Could we see the Rascals become NXT Tag Team Champs? I got a funny feeling they might.
Wow. Yeah, I can see it coming, and that would be a huge surprise. That'll be the one thing no one's expecting. Everyone, if a belt's going to go, everyone's going to be expecting it'll be a singles title because it's a bit easier to manage. But if they could open up a tag team division from NXT to TNA, that would be fucking brilliant.
Oh, mate, I think it would be really cool. I really do. I mean, what we could then start seeing, like you say, is some of the NXT tag teams coming over to TNA and trying to get their belt back, which I think would be an interesting storyline. And again,
I think, with the way that it's gone though, like with like spoiler alert in case you haven't seen it, with No Mercy, with Ethan Page defeating Joe Hendry. Like that there, I was like, well, to me, from a business point of view, they were never going to let that title go. Never going to let that title go. As much as we speculated the other week that we thought Joshua Alexander would have gone down and maybe helped Ethan Page, or TNA guy's here and turned his back on Joe and helped out Ethan. None of that happened. It was. Don't get me wrong. I will give them credit. It was a good match. I did watch it.
The trouble is, a lot of people were speculating that as well. It wasn't just us. We thought that would be great. It was a big speculation point. So I guess if that was all over the place, then the likelihood is actually they're probably not going to do that.
The end was the end of the match was typical WWE, referee gets slapped and blah 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 and stuff like that. It was a bit predictable, but then at the same time, I thought that I will give him credit, and I don't particularly like the guy at all in any shape or form, but Ethan Page held it well, did perform well. Hendry really is a trooper. If we lose him, then that's a massive hole to fill. But at the same time, I don't think that they would have let that title go out of all the titles. But I feel that like you said, Bison and Joe, I think we all agree that I reckon the tag titles might make their way over.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it if they're going to send their best tag teams over. Because what we got to think as well is some of the best tag teams in the current WWE universe, or whatever the hell they call it, they started in NXT. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
we might get to see them in their early years, and 10 years from now, we might be like, wow, do you remember when they came back and reclaimed their titles? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. No, definitely. Hey, Barry, nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Okay, well, later in the night, Wendy Chu summoned the terrifying Rosemary. To battle with Tatum Pax, who of course we already know about Tatum. We all speculated that she kind of had a Rosemary-esque about her. And despite Paxy's wishes, Rosemary didn't want to play with her. She wanted to have a fight. And Rosemary punished Paxi in a chilling showdown. But at the very end, Paxi was able to overcome the onslaught to get the win. So that's 2 losses in a row for Rosemary. After the match, Rosemary and Chu would deliver a 2-on-1 assault to Paxley until Lyra Valkyria even the odds. Now that's the Lyra Valkyria is the Irish girl, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know her. She's actually very good. So that's an interesting pairing we've got going on there. So you got Rosemary and Chu. That's interesting in itself. And then going up against Paxley and Valkyria. That's interesting. That's in. It was mentioned earlier that Rosemary's not getting much of a pop so much at the minute, but I think as time goes on, Rosemary does more promos. They'll start to take to her. I'm pretty sure of that. Or people will start looking her up because if they haven't seen how awesome she is, they will find out. We'll see.
True.
And that's interesting what Paul's saying there. He's saying that he thinks that the Wes is going to come in and cost the Rascals the tag title for the NXT. WWE don't have the balls to put their titles on someone other in another company. Well, you never know. But meanwhile, Knockouts World Champion Jordan Grace continued to make history when she announced that for the first time ever, she will defend the TNA Knockouts World Championship in an open challenge next week, exclusively on NXT. Well, there you go. Did you like my promotional skills there?
It was good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Strong.
Witty. Wasn't it? Nice. Anyway, so interesting stuff. Again, like you say, never been done before. So we're doing all these kind of like, where were you when TNA Knockouts title was defended on NXT and all that kind of stuff. Ground, aren't we, at the moment? But my problem at the minute, and it's interesting because it has been brought up in the chat, is it's not necessarily the issue with who we've got, as on the Knockouts roster. It's more about how it's being booked at the moment.
Yeah,
I think the biggest problem is availability of Knockouts. I honestly do, which is why it seems very limited to pretty much Spitfire, the Militia, Grace, Ash by Elegance, and SDL and Zaya Brookside is pretty much all we really see. And it's difficult, isn't it? Because there's only so many times you can put the same talent into the same matches. Because what are you going to do with it? I don't know. But and Rosemary, of course, we're seeing Rosemary as well. How dare I forget Rosemary? But I think as time goes on, they're clearly taking looks at quite a few different talents, and we'll talk about some more again in a second on Explosion. But they're clearly really taking a good look at some talents at the moment, and they're being careful on who they bring in, because at the end of the day, they need to bring in talents that really bring something to the roster. Knockouts at the end of the day are not only beautiful, they are rugged, they are tough, and they deliver fantastic wrestling matches. So whoever they bring in have to be all of those things, and they have to have a kind of uniqueness about them as well. Otherwise, you're just like you say, there's no point in bringing in another Zaya Brookside. There's no point in bringing in someone else that's a similar character, Rosemary. Like a Paxley.
We have got another Zaya Brookside though, haven't we? We've got that Scouse one that won a contract in the UK. I forget her name.
Harley Hudson.
Harley Hudson, yeah. She's not really like Zaya though, but she is I don't know what she's like, the Barbie Badass or something. I can't remember what she's called. But anyway, she's good. She's really, really talented. But again, they still haven't brought her in yet. But what she won was a contract to go to Scott D'Amore's Pan Am Dojo, if you remember.
Right.
That's what she won, was a training opportunity for 12 months there. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But, at the end of the day, it would be great to see her turn up at TNA at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Paul.
What's Paul saying? Masha and Tasha need proper singles runs. I think Masha does. There is no doubt about that. Tasha, I'm not so bothered about, to be honest. I like the idea of Xia Li coming in. I think she would be great. That Megan Bain or whatever her name is, she's supposed to be pretty good. I've seen a bit of her. So I just have a funny feeling we've got possibly 3 or 4 knockouts coming in over the next few months, leading into 2025. So don't get too despondent. It's going to be fine. Kylan King obviously coming back. We all thought Kelly was coming back, but obviously not for a while. But yeah, so there's plenty of stuff to look forward to. So just bear with it. They'll get it right. Now, talking about knockouts, Explosion. We had Spitfire defeating, of course, for the second time we've seen her in recent weeks, Rennie Michelle and Caitlin Alexis. Now, what are your thoughts on these two ladies coming in? Obviously, we know how great Spitfire is. I've got no problems with that. Rennie Michelle, Caitlin Alexis. I've interviewed Rennie Michelle. Great interview. Go and check it out on our interview section of the website. What do you think about these two ladies, guys?
Fantastic. I've been a fan of Rennie Michelle since I first saw her coming with Killer Kelly. I thought there and then she should have been signed alongside Killer Kelly at some, but it's just so good to see her again. And she's brought someone who I'm not overly familiar with, and she stood out really well too, and really held her own in this match too. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they come back on Explosion this week or or in the future.
It'd be nice to see both of those in singles action, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to look at Rennie Michelle in depth after the show for a good 20 minutes or so.
I would if I was you. Yeah,
I bet you would.
Keep your trousers on, all right? Keep your trousers on.
You got enough tissues aside for Central London. You're going to run out.
I got some left over from SDL from the other week.
Okay, fair. She's pretty awesome. I'm not sure if she's still with Rockstar Spud. I think she's married to Rockstar Spud. I'm not sure. But either way, she, to me, would have been the perfect smoke show. She would have been better, way better than that.
Scarlett Bordeaux.
Yeah, she was. I'm sorry, but she was not the smoke show. But Rennie Michelle, no, that would have been the smoke show. But it's a real shame that they wasted that on Scarlett Bordeaux. Again, I think the Scarlett Bordeaux thing was only because they wanted her fella. And of course, we all know how that turned out. But, incredible talent. I'd like to see both of those a little bit more regularly. I quite like what I saw from Caitlin Alexis as well. So, it should be good. Can I just say a quick hello to some of the people that recently joined? Got Norris has joined us. John Rasad has joined us. Obviously, J Bone is in the house. Nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for popping in. We haven't seen you for a while. Bonkers, Terrence. We've had quite a few people. Paul Matheson's joined us. LaCarb, Madman has joined us. They really need a shot in the arm in the KO division. You may be right, bud. You may be right. Okay, good to see you guys. Don't forget to leave your comments. We will pop them up, won't we, Joe?
Yeah.
When they pop in, we'll pop them up, and any ones that catch my attention, I will make sure I mention. Gia Miller. I say Gia, it's Gia, or whatever it is. Is it Gia or Gia? I don't know.
It is Gia Miller.
It is Gia Miller. Takes a spin around the ring with Mike Santana, diving into his life and as a girl's dad, embracing his badass persona, and so much more. Well worth checking that out. I'm a huge fan of Mike Santana, so I enjoyed this, and if you haven't seen it, then I suggest doing that. LaCarb Madman, I wish they would proactively pick talents from smaller indie companies. It's fine to bring them in for a tryout, but why do when you never bring them back? That's true. Anyway, I appreciate that, LaCarb, as well. Thank you very much. So I get what he's saying there about those. Not we need to just get some of these bad girls signed. That's all I got to say. Right, Frankie Kazarian also defeated Burpinder Gujar in what I have to say was a bloody good main event on Explosion.
Boopy Gooch.
Boopy Gooch, mate, the dude is badass.
Isn't he?
Yeah, we love Boopy Gooch, don't we? We absolutely love Boopy Gooch. Did I mention also on NXT there was no Joe Hendry this week? Did we notice that?
Dun, dun, dun. No,
No.
it can't be no Joe Hendry.
Yeah, but I did mention his name.
Yeah, Sammy. There we go.
What? No, I did mention Sammy.
No, the dog distracting me.
Oh, mate. Anyway, it's too late.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Okay, I'll let you off. Right,
Needs
anyway.
work, needs effort.
He does need a bit of work, doesn't he, as a producer, does our Joe. Right, so Bhupinder Gujar, absolutely great to see him. I thought it was a really good match. Frankie eventually defeated him, but I thought it was a pretty solid match to end Explosion, definitely. And Smash is all going. All I'm going to say is don't get discouraged about the Knockouts division. TNA has always had the ability to bring in fresh faces and make them stars. Exactly. Totally agree.
Yeah,
it's coming.
That's a statement, do you know what I mean? And that's something I definitely agree with, because like
Yeah.
we've said on this show before, the amount of people that we have, performing for us, and then all of a sudden they go elsewhere. Like, not being funny, look at EC3, the rise of Ethan Carter, Dixie's family member, and then he went on to WWE, and all right, fair enough, it may not have gone the way that he hoped or whatever, but
he just wasn't tall enough. He wasn't tall enough. That's the problem.
It was just that one of the worst things I've ever seen WWE is when John Moxley, Dean Ambrose said, EC3, where's EC1 and EC2? I was just like, this doesn't even write itself, does it? This is ridiculous. That's why it's things like that make me just not bother with WWE. But I will give NXT their flowers, because No Mercy was actually a really good show.
Of course it was, yeah, definitely. Especially the featuring of incredible talent from TNA.
That's the only thing good about it.
In the main event. Awesome photo gallery from Emergence on the TNA website. If you've not seen it, go and check it out. www.tnawrestling.com. Go and check it out. Really, really cool gallery. Some fantastic photos on there. Go and check that out. Also, I want to talk about the new format to the countdown, or what I like to call the Countdown 2 show, with the promo reels for each of the upcoming matches on Emergence, and then a couple of live matches slipped in, a little interview for good measure. I'm giving that a big thumbs up. I liked it. I thought it was really cool. And, because I think what they would do, I don't know, the Countdown show was almost like it was just whatever the pay-per-view or the premium event was, it was just starting early. You know what I mean? It was just because nothing really changed. When you went from that into the show, nothing was any different, right? So it didn't feel special, because the countdown at the end of the day was no different to the main event, if you know what I mean, the main actual show. So I like the way they did this, because what they did was they had like the promo reels giving us, the rundown of how we were getting to the matches that we were having with these, these cool promos videos, like packages, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Then all of a sudden we go to ringside with Tom Hannafan and whoever, and we'd have a match. We get a winner. Then we go back into the show reels. Then we had an interview. Then we go back into the show reels. Then we had another match to finish it off, and then boom, it was time for Emergence. I liked it. And let's face it, actually, that's what a countdown should be, because they were giving us loads of info on, like, the Ultimate X match, the Knockouts match, the main event 1 hour Iron Man match. So, in other words, they were, like, the people that were doing the free countdown were getting to find out what they were going to see. And
definitely
who, you know what I mean, and what was the build to that. They were getting to know a bit of history about each of the matches. So they hadn't seen the show before. If they hadn't seen the build up and they were like, you know what, let's give this Emergence a go, it looks pretty good, they watched the countdown, they would have known exactly how the matches got to where they got to because they'd have watched the countdown show. So they would have potentially gained a bit of an excitement for the show. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what it did for me. And I know how everything came about because I watch every week. But I was like, man, this is cool. I like it. Can I ask? Let's ask everybody in the chat. What did you think of the way that they've reformatted the Countdown 2 show? Because I think it's definitely a much better way of doing it. And like I said, big thumbs up for that. Go on TNA. Right, okay. Alisha Edwards received treatment as she was removed from ringside during Emergence. And she obviously got some concussion. It looked like it came from an elbow. Straight.
All is violin in the world.
Yeah. I was doing that as well. So that was sad. But we can talk about a bit more about that in a sec. Victory Road main event has been set also after Emergence. So we got Nick Nemeth versus Moose. I think that's going to be a hell of a showdown. I know that we've seen it already, but not as Nemeth is champion.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I'm proper looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good. I cannot wait to see what other matches are going to come out for Victory Road over the next 2 weeks. It's going to be pretty cool. Okay, I just want to remind everyone that we're now only,
Three episodes.
Three.
Yeah, three.
We're only 3 episodes away from 200 special, and we'd like to hear from you guys on what you love the most about the show, or your favorite guests, moments, your favorite panel member, of course, etc. Send your videos via wetransfer.com to LordBison45@outlook.com, and we will feature them on our 200th episode of Impacted. Guys, let's get it done. Let's get these videos in. You know, if there's 20 of them, there'll be 20 on there. If there's one, there'll be one. But guys, get your videos in. Let us know. I'll let you know again what we're after. What do you like most about the show? Your favorite guest, your favorite moment, your favorite Bison. Oh, no, sorry. I meant your favorite host with the most. No, your favorite panel member. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, whatever you want to say about the show, please feel free. Put it in a video. We will feature them all on our 200th episode of Impacted. So you've not got long left. You've got 3 weeks to get them in. So get them in, so we can feature them. If you don't send us any, well, we won't feature anyway, and you'll just have to put up with us for the whole time. All right? So let's get some in. WeTransfer.com to LordBison45@outlook.com. I'm looking.
It's on the description too.
It's all down below. Make sure you do it. Okay, let's get into the Emergence review, shall we, boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've done well. We're at like 35 minutes in, and we're getting into this review. I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I'll tell you that now. Hang on a second. So J-Bone, look, he's loving the B-Flow. I expect a video package then. Right, countdown matches. Frankie Kazarian defeated Kushida in what I thought was a really good match. You had two kind of in-ring technicians. I mean, Frankie Kazarian is an in-ring general. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he's the king of TNA.
He is the king. He is the king.
I love how Jay Chung is getting really pissed off now having to call him the king of TNA.
I absolutely love it. It was a good, solid match, I think, to kick off the countdown for the countdown matches. I enjoyed it. What were your thoughts on this one, Joe?
It was a brilliant opening match. It's just what you wanted to grab your attention. It was just two technical masterclasses. I haven't given it. They're all. That's your brilliant match.
I agree, 100%. I thought it was a good, solid match. Roger Sims, if you want to go back to the start when we're done, you'll hear everything you need to know about what we think about Gisele Shaw. Right, Gia Miller interviews AJ Francis of First Class, who reveals that Casey Navarro will take Rich Swann's place in a TNA World Tag Team title match against ABC tonight at Emergence. I was chuffed with this. I thought Casey was great too. Very funny. And these guys, I think, are going to gel really, really well. They already were able to bounce off each other in a promo scenario, in that interview scenario. So I thought it was a pretty good little interview, and I'm very pleased to see Casey part of First Class. What did you think? Did you remember? Did you see this, Craig?
Yeah, I did see it, and Casey Navarro, he's a hell of a talent. We spoke about him the other week, and I remember you saying, it'd be great if he was added to the TNA roster, and the fact that he is now, I think you should pop down William Hill and put some bets on, because you can make some money with these predictions. Do you know what I mean? But other bet vendors are available, but. No, like Casey Navarro and just that team, they just seem to have so much charisma, and they seem to know where each other were at all times. It just shows how professional both of them are. But it's just like with let me just go to a script because it's not AJ Tracy, is it? No, it's AJ Francis. With AJ Francis, it's just it's brilliant. Like
I don't know if you can see my smile through my silhouette. I am smiling.
But just with AJ, just. That choke slam, man, it's the best in the business. I don't care what anyone says. Bouncing people off the ring and stuff like that. It's just insane.
A good one. Yeah, it is a good one. Okay, so we then go to you can't really call it a main event as such, but we get PCO versus a mystery opponent from Matt Cardona. He basically defeated probably one of the worst wrestlers on the roster.
Himself? What, PCO fought himself, did he?
Shera.
Is it PCO versus Con?
I think it should be charismaless Shera. I think that's what they need to call it. He's terrible.
I want to see Con versus Shera in an Iron Man match.
Yeah, I think I'd be asleep after about 3 minutes.
I was going to say I could do with the rest.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. No, I think this match. Well, the match was okay. It wasn't like really awful, but for me, disappointing as hell. I love how much I love. I love PCO, and it's great to see Steph DeLander at any occasion. Yeah, very disappointing that the mystery was Shera. For me, this is probably the downest moment of this entire evening. I was expecting maybe Madman Fulton, possibly. I'm not being funny. Con would have been better. All right, he really was.
So it was Shera, Cardona's monster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
so I looked and I thought,
they should have brought that Zion guy in.
Yeah, he would have been fucking brilliant. I wish they could have brought him in. That would have been amazing.
Just absolutely fucking insane. I don't get it. But
is it Odark? Because he's also owes my money?
Yeah, it's terrible. But again, the best thing is that SDL is an Amazon. Yeah, like LaCarve's SDL was an Amazon in real life. Saw her at a show in Texas last year. Yeah, she is. She's a big lass. She's tall. She's thick, and she is gorgeous. But she's definitely an Amazon. But this, for me, was the most disappointing moment of Emergence. They could have brought anyone in, and they brought Shera. Come on. What a fucking waste of time that was. Anyway, we then head in to Emergence. Emergence begins with another fantastic opening video package. As always, Ultimate X for the X-Division title kicks off the show. So we've got Mike Bailey versus Jason Hotch versus Zachary Wentz versus Alex Hammertone versus Riley Osborne versus Laredo Kid. A hell of a lineup for the Ultimate X. But this is what happens. Osborne takes out everyone with a sunset flip powerbomb to the floor. Wentz hits the top rope cutter on Osborne. Wentz kicks Bailey off the steel truss as Bailey transitions into the moonsault on the rest of the field. Everyone scurries across the cables in pursuit of the X-Division title. Wentz hits his signature handspring knee into the cheekbone of Bailey. That was fucking good. Hammertone press slams Laredo off the top rope into everyone on the outside. Hotch delivers a low blow to Hammertone, followed by a torture rack bomb. Osborne is pulled off the cables, but turns into a shooting star. Bailey,
that was brilliant.
Yeah, that was
Amazing.
really cool. Bailey connects with Ultimate Weapon on Osborne. Bailey and Wentz race to the center. Wentz breaks the grip of Bailey, unhooks the title. Wentz drops down to the mat because, of course, you actually have to hit the mat, which is funny enough is what Mike Bailey didn't do to win the match when he won the Ultimate X to win the match and the X-Division Championship. So Wentz becomes your new X-Division champion. One thing that wasn't mentioned in that description there was the incredible, I forgot what they call it, suicide tope or something, suicide dive.
Suicido.
That's it, that one that Jason Hotch did. That was awesome. Shame about the camera angle because you saw it from behind. If it had been on the side, that would have been great. But for me, that was probably the best move of the night. However, that Osborne move was really good as well. But you know who, again, and we said this last week, disappointed in Hammertone. He's not the right person to be in the X Division.
See, I'll be honest, I thought he was going to win it. When he came out, I thought, there we go. He's going to wipe the floor with everyone, and he's going to walk away with the title. It was either him or Hotch. I didn't see Wentz winning it, but like out of the two that I thought were going to win it, neither of them won, and someone who definitely suits it better has won it. Like, I didn't think Wentz would win it because he's part of a tag team. Do you know what I mean? But that was the only thing that was going on.
They've got plans, aren't they? So they know what they're doing. They want to feature the NXT. They wanted to feature the X Division title on NXT. I guess it makes sense. But the end of the day, Hammertone was the most disappointing performer in that match, and I did say it would be the case last week because he is not flexible enough. He's not like Brian Cage, who can flip it around all over the place and also do power shit.
Used to.
Used to. Yeah. Like he did when he was X Division champion, he was great. Yeah. But Hammertone is not that kind of guy. He's he's a ploddy kind of power guy. And so in reality, if they were going to put a big strong dude in there, it should have been Jake something. In my opinion.
Or Fulton.
Maybe Fulton. Yeah, he's pretty agile as well.
Yeah.
But again, I think Fulton should have probably been the guy to come out and face PCO.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But like, Shera's got a hold on us somehow. I don't know if he turns up and works for free or something, but at least he turned up, eh?
That's true. That is true. Okay, so Gia Miller interviews Josh Alexander as he prepares to challenge TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth in the 1 hour Iron Man match. Not only does he vow to leave with the TNA World Championship, but he promises to embarrass Nick Nemeth. Again, can I just say, heel Josh Alexander is badass. I am so convinced in Josh being a heel right now. What do you guys think?
I'm totally with you. I think Josh as a heel, this is the character shift he needed because I'll be honest, the guy can wrestle, but my God, is he boring. Do you know what I mean? Just like when he was just stood there, his interviews and stuff like that, I'm like, come on, someone give him a script or something because this guy is just like, much like if you turn around, Bison, you could probably watch paint dry and it'd be more entertaining than a skit with Josh Alexander. Do you know what I mean? But now he's got his heel turn, he's got a bit of grit, and he's able to just when he came out the other week to explain his reasons and stuff like that, and he just came out, said nothing, and walked away. I was like, that is class. Do you know what I mean? He's finally developed into a character. So I don't know if it is him working on himself or if there's backstage talent or anything helping hone him into who he is. But I'm all for Josh being a heel, and I really want him to just turn into this just massive asshole.
He's got to turn into the biggest heel of the company.
Just fuck everyone up.
He's got to compete with Frankie Kazarian for that at the moment. To be the
Easy.
Oh, but there's two different types of heel though, isn't there? I think Frankie's one type, whereas Josh is just going to turn into this absolute cunt of a. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm all for it. 2024, and we got the C-bomb on a TNA Impact show. I love it.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He's got way more, like Paul Matthewson saying, he's got way more charisma as a heel.
Yes, totally agree.
And that's great. Yeah, he was a little bit dull before, but now he really is starting to come into his own, and I love it. I'm there for it all day long. I love it.
I love his
right.
entrance theme as well.
His theme is great. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's all part and parcel of the whole gimmick, isn't it? The whole thing. The whole thing is starting to build now. He's going to be great. That's interesting. JBL to manage Josh Alexander. That would be very interesting.
Yeah, we are going to go on to JBL later on, so I'll give you my thoughts on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. So the next match that came in was, of course, the badass Steve Maclin versus the veteran Eric Young.
Favorite match of the night for me.
Really, I thought this was a good match too. So let's have a quick slap into it. So Maclin hits the Olympic Slam for an early 2 count. Moments later, Young bangs his back with a Death Valley Drive. Sorry, that's the Japanese version. Death Valley Driver to gain the momentary advantage. Young heads to the top, but Maclin cuts him off and connects with caught in the crosshairs. Maclin hits another caught in the crosshairs, but it's not enough to keep Young down. Both men are down following double clotheslines in the middle of the ring. I hate that move. I'm not going to lie. I hate that move. It just looks so stupid. Young bites Maclin, then soars with a top rope elbow drop. Young successfully and does it way better than Hulk Hogan. Young successfully hits a pile driver for another near fall. Young is going for another pile driver where Maclin secures a jackknife pin out of nowhere to get the win. Maclin defeats Eric Young. After the match, of course, Young and Maclin shake hands in a sign of respect. I did too. I love it. I thought this was a great match. All over, apart from the double clothesline, because that's one of my worst moves in.
I've got to be honest. So the reason why they do a double clothesline is so they can double down. It's pretty much just so they can have a little rest. That is so. When you see that, 9 times out of 10, it'll be like a good fair few minutes into a match, and they clash, and they lie down. You'll see them kind. They kind of give each other a bit of a nod to say like, right, we can get up and carry on now, but. It'll be when one of them's flagging, or like maybe both are flagging. They're on the same side. But
I don't really care. I hate it.
It's got to double down. He just wants everyone to fight to the death.
I don't care. If you're flagging, you need to do more cardio.
There we go. I love it. There we go.
No, I'm not down with it. Some say it worked for Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Anyway, great match, but again, I can't see why wrestlers are suicide diving to the floor. I don't need them to risk paralysis to enjoy their work. Yeah, I agree. Actually, that was pretty harsh. But there you go. Okay, so we enjoyed that one. Really good match. That's a 5-star match for us. We enjoyed that one. Moving on. Nick Nemeth checks in, of course, with Jay Miller, who responds to Josh Alexander's bold comments from earlier tonight. Nemeth promises to hit harder and walk out still the TNA World Champion in tonight's 1-hour Iron Man match. So it was good. It was good to have that. It was good.
Yeah.
We then head into the six knockout tag match. They still call it a 6-man match, don't they? They should call it like, I don't know, 6 intergender, 6, I don't know what you want to call it, whatever. But anyway, 6 knockout tag match. Jordan Grace with Spitfire, of course, versus Ash by Elegance with the Militia. Okay, it's total chaos from the opening bell as all 6 knockouts brawl. I like this bit. Around the ringside, Alisha Edwards is injured in the scuffle and taken to the back. I think
Jodie Fett knocked her out when she did
elbowed her. I think.
Yeah. When Jodie Fett jumps over the rope, she hit Alisha Edwards right in the middle. Alisha took most of the bump from it.
She did. He hit her right in the mush. Right in the mush.
Just knocked her out completely. It was completely like unintentional, completely accidental, and
of course it was. Yeah, of course it was. But
it was just like showing that it's not bloody fake.
I like the bit where they tried to pick her up. They were trying to pick her. She was literally like limp. Jordan Grace come down and she's like, she went to her face and you could literally see her go, she's out, and get back in the ring again. I was like, but yeah, no. But anyway, Threat hits Ash with the exploder suplex out of the corner. Ash distracts the referee, allowing Slamovich to illegally attack Luna from the apron. Luna creates separation with the suplex to Ash, allowing her to make the tag to Grace. The pace quickens as Grace brings the fight to Slamovich. Grace hits the Shades of Samoa, Muscle Buster, but Ash breaks the pin. Threat hits Ash to hits Ash with pop shove it with that's really good move. That is, I really like that move. While Grace plays defense to score the big win. So okay, I think this match was brilliant, and I think considering the fact that one of them was obviously taken out very early on, which was not meant to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously Masha and Ash did an amazing job covering for Alisha as well, because obviously all of a sudden all of the plans for the match have gone out the window. So
Masha took Danny Luna out about 5 minutes into the match as well. So Danny Luna was basically out for the rest of the match too. So you didn't notice that it was 3-on-2.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a hell of a match. So I really enjoyed it. And Ash is proven to be really good. Masha is just Masha. She's just so good. I got so much time for Masha Slamovich. I'd love to see her as Knockouts champion. And I still believe, let's get a repeat at Bound for Glory. Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich. Masha Slamovich, the next TNA Knockouts champion. I'm sorry, that's the way
I could see Ash Barrow against winning at Victory Road or Bound for Glory, and then Masha Slamovich going for it afterwards.
Masha needs it. She absolutely.
I know. Masha needs it, but I can see Ash Barrow against getting it beforehand.
I hope not.
Oh, as long as that's the last thing that she does, gets it, does 3 matches, loses the title, and then goes. Because like, as much as she's pleasing to the eye, she's shit.
Who?
Ash.
You think? I don't. I think she's proven to be really good. I think her abilities get better and better.
No, there's that match of the week against Jordan Grace, and I just thought it was just. It was carried by Jordan, and like Jordan, I'll be honest, Jordan looks a bit tired now. It's looking a bit samey. So,
look at that bonus, baby. Danny Luna, Masha, hit me, take the night off. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree, Paul. I think Masha was killer when she arrived, and I wish they sort of kind of pushed her more then. But yeah, no.
Maybe she could end Alisha Edwards. Maybe she could like turn on her and just write her out of a story. Just like, you know,
we got to do
something.
something.
Undead Realm or something like that. Yeah, please do something. I'm bored of her too.
Yeah, they got to do something. Definitely, I agree. Now, after Matt Cardona calls Steph DeLander his property on social media, SDL says that she'll see Cardona this Thursday on TNA Impact. Okay, so that's not over. We got plenty of that coming forward. Then we go into the World Tag Team Championship. ABC versus First Class, of course, AJ Francis and Casey Navarro. Now this match went down a bit like this. So Bay counters an early down payment attempt from Francis. Navarro whips Bay into a big foot from Francis. Navarro delivers a kick right to the face of Bay. Navarro leaps off the top, but Bay counters into a backbreaker clothesline combo. Very cool. Bay tosses Navarro over the top rope into the arms of Francis. Bay dives, but is caught by Francis. Bay counters another down payment attempt by Navarro, capitalizes off the distraction from the running boot. Bay spikes Francis to create some much-needed separation. Bay makes a tag to Austin, who goes on the attack. Austin gets Francis up on his shoulders. Oh my God. Then drives him into the mat. ABC hits an innovative double teamed of offense on Navarro. They try to double suplex Francis, but it's countered as he hits the suplex off his own to both men. Francis hits Bay with the down payment, but he's not the legal man after Navarro tagged himself in. Austin takes out Francis with the fold. Bay rolls up Navarro to win the match and retain the titles. Okay. I'm glad to see ABC retain. I want to see them as champions for a little longer. I think they are awesome. Bay is just incredible. But the pair of them is just such... They work off each other so well.
I say it constantly. They gelled together so quickly after they came back from Japan, and they're like they are like the Motor City Machine Guns. They are just one of the best tag teams going right now. They're absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm down with Bonus Baby there as well. That AJ Francis trying to make us like him. Damn it, and we do like him. We think he's great, and I can't believe WWE didn't see the potential in him. He's just such a good storyteller. He's great with the mic. And he's proven to be actually pretty solid in the ring as well. And that chokeslam, wow, is awesome. Scarlett, you need to start watching TNA. What's the matter with you? But thanks for joining us anyway. I appreciate it. So anyway, Joe Hendry, Matt and Jeff Hardy take part in a mashup entrance for the of the ages. Join forces with Mike Santana in the upcoming 8-man tag team war. What were your thoughts of the of Joe Hendry and the Hardy?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Christ, that made me jump. You were so on it then, Joe. The only way I'm clapping is to give you a round of applause. That was like, straight on it. He kind of went, Joe, he didn't even say Joe Hendry, he just went, Joe. Bang, straight on it.
He was on it.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I love it. But I thought it was very cool. I really liked it. I love the way that they all stood in their little line.
Yeah, that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, very good. Really, really good. Mike Santana.
They did it again during the match as well after they completely cleared house and they all spun around to the other end, did the massive pose there. It reminded me of Edge, Christian, and Kurt Angle when they would do the 5-second poses before the matches and start to insult all the fans.
Yeah, it was good. So, here we go. So we got the System versus Joe Hendry, the Hardys, and Mike Santana. That's how it goes down. So Santana and Jeff Hardy take turns launching themselves off each other's backs for Poetry in Motion on JDC. Hendry and the Hardys suplex Myers and JDC before posing for the camera. Santana leaps off the top with an aerial offense crashing into the System on the outside. The match begins to break down as both teams square off in the middle of the ring. Jeff takes out Edwards and JDC with a whisper in the wind. Hendry hits the twist of fate and Myers on Myers, but JDC prevents a follow-up swanton bomb. Hardy is worn down by the System for several minutes until he's able to fight free and make the tag to Hendry. Both Edwards and JDC are on the receiving end of a fall-away slams from Hendry. Myers inadvertently spears his own partner, JDC. Moose goes for the step-up cutter. He's so good at that. But Hendry confidently avoids it. Hendry hits... Hendry started doing the... before I move on, Hendry started doing that whole walking away thing like Samoa Joe used to do. He
times it perfectly like Samoa Joe. It's really, really, really brilliantly timed.
He's doing a good job. He is doing a good job. You can't take something like that unless you're going to do it well. That's for sure. So Myers inadvertently spears his own partner, JC. Moose goes to stop there. I've got to that bit. Avoids. Hendry confidently avoids it. Hendry hits the pop-up powerbomb on Edwards for 2. Matt hits a side effect on Edwards. Moose spears Matt, Jeff, plants Myers face first, then swords with the swanton bomb. Hendry hits the standing ovation on JDC. Matt has Edwards beat, following the twist of fate, but Moose pulls him off the pin. Matt makes Moose pay. Makes Moose pay with a twist of fate on the floor. Edwards delivers a low blow to Matt, followed by the Boston Knee Party to get the win. So the System defeats Hendry, the Hardys, and Santana.
Yeah, the system always wins. The system works. My boys
Well,
won.
It's working now. What are your thoughts on this one, Craig?
Wonderful!
Nah, I wasn't too convinced on it, to be fair. I thought it was a bit cheesy.
Okay. What, the whole match?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck your opinion.
I don't. Yeah, I'm going to keep it short because I'm not going to say much good about it.
Okay. Fuck you. Right, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe.
It was, for what it was really, really entertaining. It wasn't the best match of the night. The best match of the night would be Josh Alexander versus Nick Nemeth or Maclin versus Eric Young, without a doubt, or the Ultimate X match. But it was a brilliant showcase match for all the talent there. And the only one who really didn't benefit from it was Santana, in my opinion. But then because he's not there to be in teams and that, he's there to start making a name for himself and put everybody in their place. And at the moment, it's still not quite happening yet.
Yeah.
I
mean, my opinion
people
is...
suggested after the Joe Hendry's entrance with the Hardys, Santana said immediately, "No, I'm not doing that stuff."
No, I'm not into that. I get. I mean, because at the end of the day, what Joe Hendry's doing is very, very different to what Mike Santana's doing, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
That is exactly how it should be.
Although I would have liked it if it was "I believe in Santana." And then
I believe in Santana. Yeah, that'd be good. I think it'd be good. All you got to do is stick Santana's face on a Joe Hendry one and change it to that. I believe in Santana. It'd be great. But as you say, we respect everyone's opinion. I was only messing around with Craig, so nobody get upset. All right. But my opinion on the match, I'm kind of in agreement, actually. I don't think it was the best match in the world. It was a fun match.
You've said about Joe Hendry, right? You look at Joe Hendry, he's smashing it in NXT, and then he's turning up with some carnival-esque shit in TNA. I'm like, this is meant to be where you earn your bread and butter. But you're meant to be our poster boy and that lot, and then you're coming and doing this thing. It was ridiculous.
So Josh Alexander said it himself. He's a meme.
Yeah, but this is it. It was a Butlins match on a TNA show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
So how are you going to explain that to the American? How are you going to explain that to the American audience? It was a Butlins
Butlins. It was
holiday camp.
It was a Walmart bargain reduced section match.
Yeah,
in a big store.
I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it, and that's it. So I don't care. But anyway, after the match, Moose sends a message to whoever the TNA World Champion is after tonight. He's coming back for what's his. So we then knew that from that moment on, whoever won was going to be facing Moose next. So there you go. What's Barry saying? They were protecting Hendry, couldn't risk him being injured. I get that. So we then go into the... Hang on a minute. Sorry, guys. It's
talking about that Hardy match.
It probably is. No, it's not you guys. What it is, I'm going to explain, guys. Over the last few days, I've been pretty busy. So as I explained earlier, we're doing a lot of work on my loft. We're trying to get some stuff done up there, and I've been working, doing all the shit with the kids, getting them back to school. My wife's had a knee operation, so she's not be able to do much. So I'm doing all the driving all the kids around and everything. So I'm a bit tired. I'm just letting you know I'm a bit tired. So it's got nothing to do with this. I'm just a bit tired, and it's catching up with me a little bit. When I go downstairs and have my dinner, I'm going to go to sleep on the sofa. All right? Just letting you know that's what's going to happen. Anyway, 1 hour Iron Man match, World Championship match. Nick Nemeth versus, of course, the Iron Man of TNA, Josh Alexander. And this is pretty much how it goes down. Alexander targets Nemeth's left shoulder in the early going. Alexander locks in the ankle lock, but Nemeth quickly makes it to the bottom rope. Nemeth counters another ankle lock attempt into the roll-up. Sorry. To score the first... At approximately 12 minutes. That's actually woken me up. Thanks. Appreciate that. Nick Nemeth won. Josh Alexander nil. Right. Alexander puts his strength on display with a delayed vertical suplex. Alexander is getting cocky and is almost cost him. The Nemeth rolls him up for 2. Nemeth begins to fight back with a series of strikes in the corner, followed by a net breaker. Nemeth hits repeated elbow drops as Alexander tries to evade. Nemeth hits the top rope elbow drop, but Alexander counters into a pin attempt for 2. Nemeth hits the Famouser for a near fall of his own. Alexander is caught in the danger zone as Nemeth scores another pinfall to make it 2-0. How cool was it at this moment? I'm thinking, oh my God, is he literally going to whitewash him?
It was not going how I expected it to. I thought it would at least be 1-1 by now, and so I was really blown away by how outmatched Josh seemed to be. But then,
definitely. Both men exchange strikes in the middle of the ring. Alexander creates separation with a kick to the left knee of Nemeth. Minutes later, Nemeth knocks Alexander's headgear off his head with a headbutt. Alexander transitions into an ankle lock. It started, and I can't stop it. Alexander changes angle with Nemeth, refuses to tap. Alexander sends Nemeth crashing into the official with the referee out of the equation. Alexander introduces a table into the match. Alexander attempts a C4 spike through the table, but Nemeth counters into a back body drop on the apron. Alexander hits a spinning tombstone. I love that move. But it's still not enough to keep Nemeth down for 3. Alexander distracts the referee with a steel chair, then pulls an object out of his trunks and strikes Nemeth over the head. Alexander hits a C4 spike to score his first fall of the match. Again, heel Alexander, using heel tactics and weapons to get the wins. So we get Nemeth 2, Josh Alexander 1. Alexander hits another C4 spike to score another fall and tie the score 2-2. I mean, that was just insane. It was literally within seconds they were together. Nemeth fights back and locks in the sleeper. Alexander climbs the turnbuckle. Both competitors tumble over the top rope to the floor below. Nemeth makes it back into the ring before the referee's count of 10. And back drops Alexander through the table. Alexander hits a third C4 spike, but Nemeth hits foot on the bottom rope to break the pin. Nemeth connects with the super kick for yet another near fall. Alexander lawn darts Nemeth into the exposed turnbuckle, then hits him with his own finishing move, the danger zone. But somehow, some way, Nemeth kicks out. Nemeth avoids another C4 spike, then connects with the danger zone. Nemeth puts Alexander away with his own C4 spike to take the lead, 3-2. At this point, I'm like, there's only seconds left. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
Time expires, and the end of the Iron Man match, as Nick Nemeth remains the TNA World Champion. Now, this wasn't as good as previous Iron Man matches. I think for me, the Iron match with TJP was the best.
Definitely.
That was amazing. But this was still pretty good. It was I was totally into the match, the whole time. Which was good. But solid match. Could it have been better? Yes. But the first time Nick Nemeth has done anything like that.
That's the first time that I've watched Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, whatever you want to call him. That's the first time I've actually watched him and he's dropped my jaw. Because I didn't know a lot about Dolph Ziggler. Okay?
No.
And I didn't, he's coming as Nick Nemeth. I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was just like, one day he'll put on a show and not win my respect. He doesn't know who I am. Do you know what I mean? One day he'll win me over, And this was that match. I was like, holy shit, he's going toe to toe. I don't know his age and stuff like that, but yes, we know Courtney. Mrs. Nemeth is in the house. But it's just the way that he went toe to toe with, Mr. TNA himself. And I thought it was fantastic. And
yes, it was a good match.
He rightfully deserved to win that match, I believe.
I think he's just earned. I mean, he's come in and he's really earned his place as part of the TNA roster. He's competing in what you would class as TNA-esque matches. And he's proper going for it. He's doing things that he wasn't ever allowed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got to think about.
Yeah.
Recent interviews, he said he absolutely loves TNA. He loves the talent. He loves being a part of it.
Good.
And I think that's why he's now getting his shot as that, as the man of TNA. I love it. I think he's great. I've got a lot of time.
2025, we see Zolf Diggler is all elite.
Yeah, probably. No, I don't know. He chose not to go there at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, after the match, John Layfield makes a shocking appearance as he confronts TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth in the ring. Layfield whispers something into Nemeth's ear before leaving him to celebrate. And then, of course, Emergence goes off air. Now, let's talk about this, right? Now, again, we talk about sometimes you just don't get enough of those sort of kind of like, what the fuck moments. Now, when I saw JBL walking down the ramp, I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah.
We had that moment. Now, whether I'm a fan of this guy or whether I'm not a fan of this guy, it was a moment. And
it was definitely a moment.
And wrestling is made of moments, and this was a moment. Now, the fact that he didn't really do anything other than come down and sort of kind of whisper in someone's ear and then walk off again.
What did he say there?
Exactly. We don't know what he said.
I know what he said. He said, "It's free real estate."
It's free real estate. Yeah. But we know that over the years, John Layfield is said and done some really ridiculous things. He's been, put out there as a roster bully and all sorts of stuff like that. But again, unless you're actually there, you don't really know what the deal is. But JBL has been in a few places recently. I believe he turned up in AAA and GCW at some point. So I don't know. It's interesting to see what's going on here. And I know he's part of OVW. Am I right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So they're obviously looking to put something together. Bonus Baby's just saying they're obviously looking to put some multi-promotional faction of some sort together. Possibly.
I reckon he probably just got in the ring and just said, "Dolph, Vince is watching." Like that'd be it.
From his prison? Well, from his prison cell.
Yeah. Just bin your title and get back over to the E because it's going to stay with.
No, I think he told him to call Moose out, but I can see down the line JBL going to work with Josh Alexander, like was mentioned in the comments earlier, that he should be managing Josh Alexander.
Okay.
I could see him like forcing Nemeth to challenge Moose early, and whether Nemeth wins or loses, I can see JBL then.
You know what? Right? I'm going to say this now, right? JBL, I'm not a fan of things that came out about him, but I used to love him with Bradshaw. When he was Bradshaw,
that clothesline from hell,
and he was with Farouk, and they was it the
Acolyte Protection Agency.
That's right, APA or whatever it was. That's it.
Acolyte Protection Agency. Yeah,
that's it. They were great. I used to love it. When they'd have the backstage moments, right, and they'd be sat there smoking cigars, playing cards and shit.
Yeah.
Crash
Holly would be begging them to protect.
They were great. They were great at that. You know what I mean? But when they were the acolytes as well for the Undertaker, that was cool.
Yeah.
So, he's done some cool shit. He's just, also been a bit of a prick in more recent history. So, but it's interesting to see where this. I am interested to see where this is going to go. Genuinely, let's give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Let's see.
He was with Nick Nemeth when he was last in AAA and he lost his title to El Patron.
Right. Okay. So there's a couple of places it's sort of kind of like turned up then. So we got something going on. So let's just sort of kind of let's see where it goes. Let's leave our thoughts maybe, or let's leave our what's the word I'm thinking? Let's put our issues to one side. Let's see where it goes. If it's a load of shit, then we'll call it out. If it's great, it's going to be great. So let's leave it at that, shall we?
Yeah.
That's my.
Because I've got a lot of negative things to say about JBL, and I'm casting them aside.
Give us another one, Joe.
I cut out. He's one of these guys. I think he purposely tried to injure Eddie Guerrero in the matches he had. He just did not like Eddie Guerrero. He did not like when he's on commentary. He was a real bastard as well. Really, not just a great heel color commentator. He was a really obnoxious twat when he was in places like the UK and that.
Right.
Really patronizing.
Yeah, but is that not part of his character?
Oh no, it's just he's one of those guys that just generally rubbed me up the wrong way. Whether it was in character or not, it just really pissed me off so much. But
that's because he's a heel, Joe, and he's supposed to do that.
Oh, it felt more than just him being in character, to be honest.
Well, that's how fucking good he is. Maybe he's that good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably is. It isn't just down to that, but it's that. But it's like pissed me off that much that it stopped me from enjoying.
What he wanted to do has worked.
I don't know this. Okay, I don't know this for sure, but Mir's saying that John Layfield is still under a WWE Legends deal.
If Mir said it, it's true.
Must be true. But just because he's under a Legends deal doesn't mean that he can't work anywhere else.
So am I. So I'm under a Legends deal.
And it doesn't also mean it's got anything to do with the the working partnership or whatever. There you go. That's interesting. So Somerset saying that Guerrero was one of his ushers at his wedding. So don't believe everything you read.
No, I'm sorry. You've got to point it out. Eddie Guerrero isn't Usher. Usher is a singer. Or a rapper. They're two different people.
That's not what he's saying. He said he was an usher at his wedding. Stop it. Stop it.
You leant forward and everything. You're like, what?
I'm like, what? Did I read that wrong? Yeah, there you go. And it was very good.
This match was fucking brilliant last week.
It was.
Brian Murphy's just brought up there. Rich Swann versus Mike Bailey last week.
That was a very good match.
I messaged you guys after I watched that match how very impressed I was with that match. It was incredible.
Yeah, exactly. But there you go. Norris Sparks is saying there's good heels and there's go away heels. Yeah. Exactly. Did JBL bully Marrero? That's what I'm saying. Like, there's all this stuff. There's people say this, some say that, and you just don't know what is true and what isn't true. And to be fair, like, anyone could just go, oh yeah, so and so is really mean to me. But in
especially
reality
nowadays.
Yeah, and it's just like instantly, it must be true because he said it. Yeah. It could be that someone's got a malicious.
Don't get me wrong. I will say with Mr. Layfield turning up on TNA, I did shit myself because I was a WCW fan, and for those in the comments who remember WCW, I remember when Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon turned up on screen for those final episodes of Monday Night Raw. Nitro. Monday Night Nitro, yeah. For those final days and stuff like that, seeing someone from WWE turn up on my favourite promotion fucked me up a little bit. I was just like, oh, here we go. I was waiting for him to grab a microphone and be like, because I don't know if anyone knows the reference, but John Moxley turned up in AEW and said to Tony Schiavone, "This is not your company anymore." I don't know any more context on that. I was almost expecting Layfield to come out, grab a microphone and say, "This is not your company anymore." And then all of a sudden there'd be this like super company that's taken over AEW and TNA. But that's where my head went. I shit myself. I will be honest. I was just like, oh, fuck, here we go. Bye Scott D'Amore, bye TNA. But
no, that's not happening, mate. That's not happening.
I hope not.
Right, okay. TNA Impact this Thursday. Let's have a look forward to what we've got to come. Obviously, it's the fallout from Emergence. The system is going to kick off the show.
Not another 10-minute chat with this fucking system. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and loads of boos and hisses and God knows what else. Okay. Jordan Grace is issued another open challenge. So I'm assuming that we're just going to get some random turn up. Get ODB in the house.
Yes, ODB.
We're also going to hear from Wentz after his historic X-Division championship win at Emergence. You've got Kushida versus Laredo Kid. And what I'm assuming is going to be the main event. I'm assuming Joe Hendry and Santana versus Moose and JDC. Again, it looks a pretty solid show. I'm down with it. I'm interested to see who's going to turn up for Jordan. I don't know. I just can't like top of my head. I just can't think who it's going to be. if they're going to be someone random or Ash is going to turn up and do it. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Anything out of that lot that sort of like jumps out at you guys?
I'm just looking forward to seeing it, and then Victory Road's coming up straight afterwards. So looking forward to seeing what's happening next.
I think I was excited about the same thing as Joe with Kushida and Laredo Kid, because we know both those guys can go, and I think that's going to be good. But I agree with you. Jordan Grace Open Challenge, is it just going to be a random, or will it be a statement? Will it be someone that, will it be Charlotte Flair? Who knows? Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
She's injured at the moment.
Or is she on her way to TNA?
Yes.
She's been out for at least 6 months. She's really busted
getting
her
ready
out.
for TNA.
Isn't I've forgotten her name, but that Riley Osborne, his missus is a NXT talent, isn't she? And she apparently was there. So she could have just been there supporting her husband, I don't know, or boyfriend or whatever, but maybe it's her. I don't know what her name is.
Sorry, I just typed in Riley Osborne on Google, and it just comes up. Riley Osborne, actor.
And that's it.
Riley
Osborne, porn star,
wrestler. Nah, it doesn't look like he's got anything going for him. But nah, I'm trying to find out who his partner is. There's a picture of her, but Blair Davenport.
Oh, that's it, Blair Davenport. Yeah. But she's a wrestler. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all we got time for this week. Also, if you want to show your support for the TNI UK team, then please feel free to add a super sticker, or head over to prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store. Links, of course, are all below. All the TNI shows are available on Listen on the Go fans on audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. We are, of course, there. Where can we find you on the social media, Joe?
You can find me on Twitter at JOK Empty Space. You can jump onto Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook. Look for hashtag Empty Space, hashtag Into the Void. Okay. Or if you fancy to take your taste buds.
Come on, Joe. Don't look at the screen. Just say it out.
If you fancy to take your taste buds and your sense of humour, look for hashtag Daily Giggle, or I should now put that hashtag Constantly Giggling. Approach with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
Sanity.
Lord.
Thank you so much. Buddy. Where can we find you other than obviously the local night?
You can find me, if you're watching on that blue bit there, it's LimpstarUK on pretty much all the socials, on Facebook, on Instagram, and TikTok. I'm quite enjoying my TikTok these days. And
you are.
On X, I am Network Stooge, because I still haven't changed it, and I still haven't logged in for about 3 weeks. But if you follow me on any of those, I'll follow you back.
He is a stooge, everyone. Yeah, absolute stooge. If you want to follow TNI on all the social networks, you can find us at We Talk Impact. Hey, David, nice to see you. Find me at Lord Bison 45 on the Twitsphere or the X, whatever it is that you want, whatever you want to call it these days. And if you want to follow me on TikTok at Bison by Design, of course, you will find me there on the tick of the talk. I've been posting quite a lot lately as well, so get involved. Anyway, guys, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up, or even a second one if you've got 2 accounts, or 3 accounts if you've got 3. If you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, and don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or, of course, a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out from, of course, the UK and the US teams each and every single week. That's pretty much it, really. That's pretty much all I've got to say. With all that said, I, of course, have been Bison. They have been the Joker and the Limpster. And this has been episode 197 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Guys. Take care.
Go.